You know what time it is? It's time for the 2022 recap. Oh, yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. It is a new year. A new year is upon us. And well, we're basically a week into this new year, and I wanted to, well, sort of set the record straight. Man, with getting together with so many people over the last few weeks with all the festivities and whatnot, I've heard a lot of different stuff. I mean, being a real estate guy, it's the question that people always ask. What's the market doing? Um, and I always have to clarify. It's like, well, what part of the market are we talking about? Local market? Are we talking about the national market? Are we talking about single family? Are we talking about commercial? It goes on and on. So, but all things considered, people are usually asking about how much is my house worth, and that's a great question. Average sale price has changed a lot. Wow. I'm going to share my screen here with you. And what we've seen, well, I know I kind of sound like a broken record. 2020 and 2021 were like these weird years. And then it carried over into 2022. And then around March, April, May, thereabouts, everything started like, whoo, what's going on? Things are shifting. Interest rates are going up. All the doom and gloom in the media, and it sort of never stopped. So let's dispel some of the myths and rumors and give you the real deal here. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Let's get that up and running. And as always, when I'm doing these, market updates, I am referring to Boundary County. If you can see on the screen here, we're looking at Boundary County. We're looking at single family residential properties. So not land, not commercial, not farms, nothing like that. We're looking at single family residential. And if you want to know what's going on with land or Bonner County or even Kootenai County, let me know. I can get that information for you too. But being a Boundary County person, this is what I am focusing on. So, what you see here is going back to January, like over here on the far left is January of 2019, and over here on the far right is the very end of December 2022. And well, new listings in December, there were 14, which was up from 7 in November. Okay. 27% increase over December of last year. Is that right? Yeah, about 27% increase. Does that mean much? I don't know. The market's shifting, and a lot of things are just going. Well, people are sort of pulling back. They're like, well, what do I do? Well, that's what this whole thing is about: is to help you as a buyer sort of understand what to expect. If you're a seller, I'm going to give you some information on that too. But new listings is kind of nothing outside the norm. It's pretty much on par for the last many years. Again, nothing too crazy. If we look at closed sales, well, again, it's sort of on par, nothing too I mean, it's down a little bit over last year. Well, I guess from last December, it's down about, well, 57%. But in December of last year, where is it? December of last year, where is it? Right there. There were 26 closings in December of 2021, and there were 11 in December of 2022. So what does that tell us? Well, it means that the buyers that have been out there, they're kind of pulling back. Interest rates have unfortunately knocked a lot of buyers out of the market. So that's the scoop of closed sales, pending sales, month supply. This one I think is a better indicator, even though you can't take any one of these factors, just by itself. You have to look at the market as a whole. So month supply, also known as inventory or absorption rate. A lot of times those terms are all used interchangeably. So as of the end of December, we had 3.6, I'll just say 3.5 months of inventory. And that means if nothing new came on the market at the rate in which properties are selling, it would take about 3.5 months to sell everything that was currently for sale as of the end of the month. So sale price is really the question that most people want to know is, what's my house worth? Or is the value still trending up? Are they skyrocketing like they were a year ago? Or are they, doing a 2008 on us and plummeting? Well, let's look. We're going to look at average sale price. Again, this is going back to January of 2019, so 3 years. At the end of December, like a week ago, the average sale price had dropped for down to 387,000, which, if you bought your house here in North Idaho, 10 years ago, that probably seems pretty crazy. But considering this, if you can see this, in May of 2022, so we're not talking all that long ago, the average sale price for Boundary County was $678,000. That is quite a difference from like March of 2019, where it was 314. So yeah, so we peaked in May. We dropped off, we went up, we dropped off. And that's kind of what it does. It does this monthly up and down thing, but we have, as of right now, an average sale price of 387,000. That is quite a difference from earlier this year. So, is there any other questions that you guys have? Is there a certain aspect that you want to know more about? Let me know. Send me a message. Drop it in the comments. Be nice. If you drop it in the comments because it seems like people want to argue about everything, if you say you love butterflies, well, somebody's going to argue and tell you that butterflies are awful. I don't know why it goes that way, but it does. So that's kind of where we are. If you're a seller, my message to you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is please reach out. Like, reach out right now so we can have that conversation. You don't want to wait until prime time and then be like, oh, I need to do X, Y, and Z. Or on the flip side of the coin, a lot of sellers, they want to go through and like do all sorts of work. They want to paint, they want to redo this, that, and the other thing. And oftentimes my advice is don't do any of that, because if you're going, the whole point in doing work to your house is to have a return on that investment. Like, you're investing in the property so it has a higher sale price, a higher desirability factor. Well, some things help with that and other things simply don't. I can help you with that. So please reach out so we can, get ready now so you can hit the ground running when prime time hits. Now, sellers, on the other hand, or excuse me, buyers, interest rates have gone up a lot over the last year. Yeah, it's a bummer because it's unfortunately knocked a lot of people out of the market, or it significantly impacted their affordability. And like, you may have been looking at $400,000 houses, and now you're looking at $300,000 houses. Well, the good news is it seems that a lot of the volatility in the interest rates is sort of smoothing out. So it should allow you to sort of prepare a lot better and have a more realistic expectation of what you as a buyer can do in the market as we move forward. Now, I'm going to jump back over, even though it's not on the screen here. Every year, every single year, we see inventory drop in the fall. As temperatures get cooler, inventory drops. And as temperatures start to increase, so does inventory. So buyers, get ready now. If you have not spoken with a lender, please reach out and I will get you in touch with a good local lender. Okay. A lot of people have this tendency of going online, like, I need a home loan, and they get hooked up with all these weird correspondent lenders, and they promise the sun and the moon and the stars and sunshine and roses and all this other stuff. And as soon as you get into a deal, it becomes doom and gloom, because they're about capturing leads rather than providing good customer service to their clients. So I can go on and on about that. So I'll stop there. So I think that's about it. Local buyers, please reach out. I am here to help. And honestly, since probably a couple days after Christmas, just in the last few weeks, I've had, me personally, I've had significant increase in the number of inquiries. Some of these folks have been local folks, which is great. But as we've experienced over the last few years, a lot of them are out of state, wanting to get out of wherever they are. Can't blame them. I wouldn't want to be in a lot of those places either. Um, yeah. So anyway, buyers, you will have competition. Reach out so we can get all squared away and ready to make good things happen. All right, sellers, same thing. Please reach out so we can have that conversation, so we can figure out how to strategically position ourselves in the market, because I think the market's going to become a lot more competitive. It's been a lopsided seller's market for so long, and the buyers have been scrambling. Well, I think it's going to become a little more even, which honestly, it's kind of a win-win that way. So I'm always about the win-win. Love that. So I think I'll leave it there. As always, please let me know if this is helpful. If you have questions, if there's a certain aspect of the market that you want more information on, I'm here. Let me know how I can help. And until next time, have a great rest of your week.